New York, and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Ebro in the morning, Lord Styles, Rosenberg. Chance the Rapper has made his way back on the program. He's got a new album out, and you should go listen to it. It's got a lot of great music on it. Now listen, we were just arguing because I said Chance the Rapper has reached A-list celebrity status. You said?
I said thank you. I said thank you very much.
You don't see yourself?
No, as soon as you said that, it became an incepted thing. Like, I am 100% an A-list. You can't take it away from me since you said it.
My rationale was this. You've been places with Beyonce. People are talking about Chance the Rapper.
That's a great
also,
point.
And Beyonce. I'm sure you were just somewhere with fucking the whole Lion King cast.
Mm-hmm.
They was talking about Chance the Rapper.
And then I made a dark thought about if you're on a plane.
Yeah.
But here's why I said it.
What type
let me
of shit
explain.
is that?
Let me explain. Sometimes you've never been on a plane before, and you look around and there's a big celebrity on the plane, and you go, "Oh damn! If this plane goes down, they're just gonna say Tom Brokaw and 244 others."
No one thinks like that. Never had that thought.
Well, you've been fortunate.
That's a Paul Rosenberg thought, though. He's like, no one's gonna say Paul Rosenberg died.
Well,
I keep saying Paul. No, we know. Hey, let's not act like there's not a person named Paul Rosenberg. Hold on, let's not act like there's not a person named Paul Rosenberg that we all know.
This is even worse. In the
I'm
article,
sorry,
they'll say Paul Rosenberg died.
Yeah, that's what fucking happened. Yeah.
People will be like, "Oh my God, no, not Eminem. How's he doing?" No, it's Peter Rosenberg. Eminem's fine. Doesn't give a shit.
Now, you on this album, you have a lot of hip hop records.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
You also have some pop records.
Yes.
How was that received by your audience, your core fans?
It's been awesome, yo. It's like it's a cool thing because my thing is like very much so like all one movie kind of, right? Like it's all like different stages of my life. So I had an album that was, or a mixtape that was 100% devoted to me being in school and suspended.
Right.
I had a whole project dedicated to acid. I had a whole project dedicated to God. And now I got one that's like about my wedding and about where I am now. And it's like my fans are awesome because they stay waiting to see what the next development was. And I feel like whenever you look at a project before, it's like you can't really see what's coming next. And then when it comes, it's like this is just what it is. It's a whole story. It's a love story.
So let's play the joint that I love off the album, which is Handsome.
Baby, I look good. I look handsome.
Yeah,
Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. Shout out Houston. My wife's from Houston. And
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So Megan's basically, because your wife's not a rapper,
and my wife is also tall, and used to hoop. So it's like
boom.
It's
So
a whole
Megan's
thing.
basically
it's like my
standing
wife.
in
as my wife.
She's playing your wife.
Exactly.
Let's do it. Chance the Rapper, man. It's Hot 97 off the album The Big Day.
The Big Day.
Are you the only rapper who has made songs with, wait for it, Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion, and Cardi B? Hold on. You have to be.
Damn.
Have to be.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, who else?
I am A-list. I am A-list. He's A-list. Yo. Yeah. Shout out to all three of those extremely powerful, smart, supportive women, yo.
And shout out to me. I mean him. But you
yeah.
can say shout out to me, Chance, for not even thinking about it, but just working with the dopest rappers in the game who happen to be women.
Yeah.
I will say, I thought it was really dope how you embraced Cardi B early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even when you, when she announced that she was that you were working with her, but you've always been super encouraging because she gets a lot of heat, and you've always been super uplifting.
I can't imagine what it's like being a Black or Afro-Latino woman in America, yo. I could see what it's, in some of the cases, what it's like, but it's difficult, and people are always down to try and take it down or try and say that it's not as dope as it is, but especially with Cardi, like, there's so many similarities. We're basically the exact same age, but separated by a couple months. She really had to grind, even though she has a label and stuff. Man, so much of her work is her own ideas and her pushing stuff on socials and pushing the image or making, like, she has 50 million different looks, right? Like with the wigs and the outfits for every performance. She makes every one of her performances iconic too. That's one of my favorite things. Is like my favorite performance from her is she did. I can't remember what song it was. It was the BET Awards like two years ago. She did a song with Partisan Fontaine, and but man, it was she's just an amazing performer, and I think she's dope. She's a undeniable force.
I think her performances on records are underrated too.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's ever been a rapper in history who has taken more advantage of their features than Cardi does.
Yeah.
Everyone you hear, you're like, oh shit, this is Cardi's song now.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of
Definitely.
It's real. She puts an effort in performance-wise that I don't think she gets enough credit for.
Definitely.
Let's talk rappers.
Yeah.
These top 50 lists went around. People were pissed. People loved. People hated. People disagreed.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I would say no matter where you were as an artist or a fan of the music.
Did you put me on your list? I know you put out a
didn't make
list.
top 50 yet. Like, you don't want
You
to do
didn't
this
put me
right
on
now.
your top 50
no,
list?
Absolutely not. You're not top 50 yet.
Nigga, what?
You're not. It's just not. It's not possible.
Top 50? I'm not top 50.
time?
Nigga, I'm top 5.
Why are all rappers the same?
Why are all
And I'm definitely not 5. And I'm definitely not 5. But
You're not 5, so you're 4. You're saying you're top 4.
I'm just saying I'm not 5.
You're supposed to. Let's just, for the sake of this combo moving forward and not completely falling apart. I think you're amazing as a rapper.
Thanks,
I think
Ebro.
you have. I think you have.
Thanks, man.
A long career ahead
Thank
of
you, man.
yourself. You are not, in my opinion,
I'm not on your top 50.
top 50.
Just
not
know
yet.
I looked at your list and I was like, man, all these people are hating on it. I'm sure he has me on it. Why would they hate?
you didn't even finish
And then
what-
I didn't know that you didn't put me on there, and that's
Well,
why everybody was
my
hating
list
on
had
it.
a lot of flaws.
What
Even my own personal flaw. Like, I forgot Cool G rap.
So, can you
So
really
there's
respect?
that part. There's that part. And then there was some ranking issues. Q-Tip had an issue with my list too, and that's my friend.
That-
And I forgot him on my list too.
You
You
weren't
didn't have Q-Tip on the list?
No, I didn't.
Wow, your list really
Hey,
was
can I
strong.
just say something that everybody doesn't know? Q-Tip is tall as fuck, Joe. Q-Tip is tall and swole.
Yeah.
And you would never think that based on his voice or just his presence in hip-hop the whole time. That's a big-ass nigga, yo. That's a big dude. Q-Tip, yeah, you can't even imagine it. They're like, Q-Tip? No, that nigga's big, yo.
Yeah, nah, he put them. He
What
put
is
the
he
paws
say?
Yeah,
on
he'll
you, too.
put, and he beats motherfuckers up too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He's
straight up.
6'1".
He's my height for sure.
Oh, he is
maybe
that tall?
maybe a little shorter, maybe.
I feel like he's damn near your height, and he's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, no,
swole.
he's
Yeah,
not-
no, it's true.
not to be
There
played
was a
with.
time.
That's
there was,
not.
There
There
was
a
definitely
time.
a time, and at that time, you know, where you were De La Soul or Leaders of the New School or Tribe Called Quest or any of the Common,
Yeah.
any of these cats that was
Conscious-
pushing
yeah.
knowledge and information as well as bars.
You had to be
was
able to
getting
beat
tested,
niggas
so
up
you had
too,
to
yeah.
be able to move
Just like
around.
Common, yeah.
Which
had
is
to move
crazy
around.
because now in nowadays rap, even the ones who claim to be hard don't have to fight anyone. Yo, back in the day, the soft rappers had to fight. Now the hard rappers don't even have to fight.
It's
no
a
one has
good
to do
thing.
anything.
No one should fight, yo.
No, that
we
is a good
definitely
thing.
shouldn't fight each other.
But you
Like,
also shouldn't propagate violence if
If
you're
you ain't
not
about
really
that.
capable
If
of
you ain't
throwing
about
hands.
that.
yeah. you
These days-
But also you got to understand that like that shit don't usually be about other rappers. You know what I mean? It's like you rap
it's
about your
street.
experience.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
like if you coming into the game and that's like what you know, which is what a lot of people know when they first start off. Of course, I have a lot of lyrics where I was talking about beating niggas up in my first 10 day and shit. But it's like I don't want to fight anybody ever
That was
again.
that
That's
was
like
in the
my
lunchroom.
goal is
That
like
was in
to
the
die
lunchroom.
not
That
get
was
in
in
a
the
fight.
parking lot of high school.
Yeah, that's exactly. But it's like you carry that into it and then it becomes a part of the image and it's like you can either choose to, you know, keep that image going or just keep growing.
Well, I think Rosenberg was specifically speaking to people who are just fucking lying about who they are, which
Oh, yeah.
you've never done, which brings us back to the big day.
yeah, mine is experience.
See, wait, that was good.
You
Full
like that?
circle thing you just
Yeah,
did.
because we want to.
You guys are A-list interviewers. Can I say that, yo? You guys are obviously icons of hip-hop legend, but you guys are
No, we just pulled
A1
it.
interviewers, yo.
Hold it together.
Was
Remember we
there
did
ever-
that game? Sorry, go
No,
ahead.
it's just, was there ever a time when you were going into making this album that you questioned how much of your life you have given to the
Oh,
fans?
yeah, definitely.
Because
I
this
think this
now,
is the
I mean,
number
you've
one.
given us everything, like you said,
Yeah.
doing drugs,
Every-
getting kicked out of school, getting married now, to both children,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the biggest I think feelings overall when I was working on the album was just understanding like one prioritizing my family and my everything else because everything else is just not my family. You know what I mean? Like friendships, business, the social work stuff, everything is separate from my family. So learning how to prioritize and then also understanding just the impact and like how worth it is in each case to give so much of myself. Because now giving myself is not just giving me, it's giving my wife's story, it's giving my
Right.
daughter's story. And so like I think being in this position in this time and space, like now I'm way more just keen to like what it is that I owe anybody and everybody. That's not my wife. You know what I mean?
You were really vulnerable and open about your wife's story. How did she feel about being in the spotlight and being? Because I feel like at the beginning we didn't really hear much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think the cool thing is that my wife isn't super thirsty for like the regular stuff. Like she's not huge on social media. She's not like a person that like cares a lot about what's going on in like the celebrity world. She watches a few reality shows and shit, but like even beyond that, it's not like a real big investment. So like, I don't know. I think my wife also, she likes my songs that are like more fun. Like her favorite song is Handsome. Like she doesn't care as much about like the super intricate raps on, why do I keep, Zanies and Fools or 5-Year Plan or what's the joint that I keep trying to say? We Go High. Like that's like
We Go
probably,
High is a barsy bar. I like Big Fish too.
Big Fish is a she likes Big Fish a lot because she likes Gucci. And that's like the thing is I was able to put together the perfect album because I had so many people that either had a shared experience or had a polar opposite experience, and we were able through conversation, because everybody except for Nicki Minaj, because she doesn't have to come because she's the queen. But everybody else came to Chicago and tracked their lyrics, you know what I'm saying? And so I had an opportunity to talk to them and really be like, yo, this is my story. This is how I met my wife. This is how I lost my wife. This is how I made her my wife. This is, this is what my wedding was like from the moment that I woke up to the moment I went to sleep. Like, where do we fit in? And they all came to play, Gucci especially.
The Gucci one's fire. What was that conversation like? Gucci, he was interested? He was dialed in on the Chance story?
Yeah, so it was like, so here's the funny thing. Whenever I make a project, people expect what I was working on last. So like, when I was making Coloring Book, everybody that was coming in, a producer or a rapper, thought the song was gonna be about drugs, or thought the song was gonna be, like if the beat that I needed was, I don't know if you know this, when producers send beats, they give them weak-ass titles, like that don't sound nothing like the beat. They'll be like, Acid Drip Lucid is the name of the beat. And then they send it, and I'm like, yo, why are you sending me all your acid beats? But it's because they expect the prior, that whatever information they got last. So when Gucci came, he's in his own world. So he didn't know that I had got married. He didn't know that, I still lived in Chicago. He didn't know a lot of the things that were going on. So I just had to sit down. I hadn't talked to him in like 3 years, and just had to sit with him and tell him all my story. And he felt it, because this is somebody who literally, his whole life was saved and put back together and kept together by Keisha, by his wife. So like, him coming out of that situation and being in great health, and having his money together, having a crazy revival, he could all bring that back to his wife. So he felt it wholeheartedly when we talked.
Well, let's play the joint right now, man. Big Fish, off the big day. Chance the Rapper. Look, it's Hot 97. The whole team's here hanging out with a guy. How many times have you interviewed Chance now? Me personally, at least 3 times.
I've been with Peter so many fucking times.
Yeah, a lot. Because I interviewed him before on Real 8, and then I went to Chicago for Complex. And
we've done a bunch of TV stuff,
then
too.
the time here, right?
Yeah.
It's been a bunch of stuff. He co-hosted with us. A lot of stuff. A lot of times.
Can you, Chance, explain to us the business right now, right?
Yeah.
Because if cameras can't see, your brother's with you.
Yeah. So
your dad's with you.
Yeah.
This is I've met your dad now probably 3 different times now. I've obviously interviewed your brother when he's doing his own music thing. But what's the business construct?
Yeah. So basically, my dad from the jump, like since before 10 Day, has been kind of in a lot of different ways managing me, right? So like when I put out my 10 Day project in Chicago, he kind of campaign managed it, because that's the world that he came from. And so like he set me up a listening party, made these little pluggers for me, made me get on the train and go all to these different high schools and like pass out flyers and stuff. And then when I
put you to work,
and he put me to work and made me understand that it is beyond the music. Sometimes you have to work to make stuff get done. And so he started my t-shirt business. Like got my first t-shirts printed. And sat up with me late nights burning CDs like by hand, one at a time on an old ass laptop. Put it all together, and now I'm in a space where like I need my family the most. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to be 100%. Just have people that I trust and people that know really well exactly how to work something, because it's a new project and it's my first album, so know how to work a project. but then also know the importance of family, like, and how to prioritize and what decisions to make at any given time. Because my baby's due next week.
No, next week. Wow.
My baby's due next week. And not due, like, induced. Like, there's a
like
date.
it's planned.
It's
It's
happening. It's
on
happening
this.
next week.
You guys got a name and everything?
Yeah, do you know what you're having?
Yeah, I'm having a girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
Another girl.
I'm not telling her name yet because my wife doesn't want me to yet. So
That's fair.
But
It's the right thing, too.
Yeah, but like it's a very important time in my family, right? Like in the past 2 years, we've had six or seven deaths in my family.
Shit.
But outside of that, you know, I've had new babies. Taylor had a baby. I'm about to have another baby next week. I got married. Like, so from my real nucleus and my relatives, it's like this is like a super important time. And it's also important on the business side too. So I think that's why they're here to help me like really navigate and understand what decisions to make at any given time and like be my full support. But also like in terms of like the family, like I'm gonna just say it. My since I was a kid, my dad always like officiated the funerals in my family. Like he'd be like the kind of the MC person in between introducing people. And even when he didn't do that, my dad always does the speech towards the end about like how we need to be closer. Motherfuckers need to stop just showing up when there's a funeral. Some people need to take care of their kids. Like all the whole wrap up thing. My dad's the oldest in his generation, and I'm the oldest of my generation. I'm the oldest cousin, and so. My little cousin Daquan passed away a week and a half ago, and I have to go back Saturday for his funeral. And so this is the first time that I have to be the person that's like emceeing it because I'm the big cousin.
And a birth in a week.
Yeah. So that's how it works out a lot of times. This crazy story. My just a whole separate story. My grandmother, I had a great relationship with her when I was a little kid, but as we got older. Not my dad's mother, but my mom's mother. As time went on, because she lived in a different city, like we didn't see each other as often as we used to. And so I had my baby in September of 2015. I think it was like November of 2015. My grandmother came into town and she was trying to link. And my mom was hitting my phone, yo, your grandmother's here, she wants to see you. And I didn't really respond for a while, all day. And then she finally sent me a text like, hey, your grandmother's about to leave, you really need to come see her. I was like, well, we're at the house. Could she come over here? And I was like, fine. And my grandmother came over, and she met my daughter and got to hold her, and we took a picture and stuff. And after she left that night, she had a stroke, and she passed away. But it does come in waves like that, and I think that God purposely had my baby born at a certain time where my mother could grieve in a way where she felt like she was also getting something in addition. My mom's the only child, she has a half brother, but she's the only child, but her mom was adopted. So her family is very was her and her mother her whole life. And so when my daughter was born, I feel like that was God giving her an opportunity to have something to be proud of and be happy in. And in that same token, like when I proposed, to Kirsten, there was like a little bit of chatter on the internet, and I actually got sucked into it where somebody had said something about, like, a lot of people were saying, like, this nigga got money, he gonna propose in a ghetto-ass backyard, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, that's just like, it's the internet. You comment on what you comment on. It's like, it's not with malice most of the time in your heart. You get information, you comment on it. And I took it to heart because I'm like, yo, I proposed to her at my grandmother's house, which is where a lot of us were raised at. And you know, like, it was a place where all my family could be, and some people were able to make it in town. And crazy enough, one of my uncles passed away. My Uncle Kirk, my dad's younger brother, passed away a month and a half ago. And he passed away at that house. And I feel like had I not proposed there and shot my album cover there, that could have been like the main remnant on our minds of what that house represents.
Change the energy.
But it's like when you get certain opportunities to change the narrative, to change the energy, to make people understand that there is hope and that there is a God. And so with those situations, I'm just saying, I don't even remember what was the first thing. Oh, you said a wedding and a funeral in the same week. A lot of times that's how it goes. A lot of times to get to a new point in life, a part of you has to die. And so I think that's how I got to this album. That's how I got to being a married man. That's how I got on to this radio station. It's like it's all growing.
Yo, man. That's the interview, son. That's the interview, man. If you don't go get the big day after that, we can talk Lion King. Y'all can talk all that celebrity shit. That's the real shit. Yo, give it up. Chance the Rapper.